Good morning, everyone. So I have to say, wow, wow, dad in there of the little one, newborn little one, is in there right now working and taking care of the baby. And she's sleeping like a baby. And he seems to be the only one besides mom who's got the equipment to feed, who can calm her down, right? When she is like, I don't care if I'm full, I want more. So that's a super dad right there. Oh, yeah. Uh huh. And mom is getting the well deserved rest. And I'm going to attempt a lasagna today and make my own noodles to it. Yes. Oh, and yesterday they have some. Way in the lower part of the yard, they have some poison ivy growing that I guess nobody noticed it was growing because everybody been too busy for anything else. And uh, I'm pulling it all out because I'm not allergic. And sure enough, I'm not allergic. Look at you guys. I was out there with just gloves up to here and knee deep in poison ivy, and I'm good. I'm fine. Nothing. But we have a super allergic person here. And instead of just spraying something, which you know me, then I can't grow anything there. Or I won't. I'm going to eat food that has Roundup in the ground or something. So I'm the one that's taking care of all that and have to be very careful where I go with it and this and that. Yes, so yeah, see how God works in people's lives. Here I come, taking care of that, which regardless is not a good thing. Poison ivy has a place up there somewhere in the woods, but not here in this yard. So, anywho, so I got another half to go, and isn't it amazing? Some people are allergic to certain things, and others just, okay, whatever. Yeah, that doesn't seem to bother me. What's the difference? What is so different in my skin or my makeup? It's an organ. The skin is the largest organ of the body. What's so different in my skin than others that I can walk amongst poisonous plants and I'm just fine? Yeah, yeah. Some people would have said, well, that's because you are going, oh, jeez, Louise, come on. I'm just saying. But then I'm allergic to all the chemical stuff, right? Yes? So, interesting. Oh, a trade off. Ah, be united with the principles of creation and the principles of love. Yeah, just saying. Some are still working on that. Okay, will that make them less allergic to poison ivy? I don't know. All right, so we are in, and I need to find that pen right afterwards. There's all kinds of things that are in my other suitcase that are in my daughter's other daughter's place now. And what's today? Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we have another big day coming up for my older granddaughter. So many things going on. I have not been around this many people in consecutive days in forever. Till I said in consecutive days, even at the farm, it's just been the house been full all the time, and I feel like I have a social, how do you say, social being with people overload going on. Yeah, that's why I'm looking a little. So I got to center myself. Yes. Uh huh. Okay. Yeah, I've already watched this. It's to me. It's like I love starting the day with something funny. Yes, I just do, and it's just your whole being just goes into a completely different direction. If you get up grumpy, you're just, oh my gosh, ugh, what's today, ugh, which I don't have, but I still do it because I know that I just chuckle, watching certain things, just chuckle. This is just too cute. This is just, it's so funny. And I, you get out of bed and everything's just, it's just different. Okay, I'll give it a try. Tell me it's not true. Okay. To me, it has to be the right humor and all that too. So I don't get a kick out of uh, people getting hurt, in a funny way or certain other things. That's not no. But there's some good stuff out there. All right, so we are in the book of Nehemiah 5. The social problems of Nehemiah, he vindicates his administration. Here I'm talking about being with people, right? Social problems. I don't have any social problems. I just have a little social overload going on, which I'm digesting quite well. I have to adjust suddenly being around people and noise from there's motorcycle just went past and everything just we can't even now just heard the garbage truck. I'm going, oh, that's good though, let's go and see if the garbage is out. Yes, of course it was. We don't hear none of that on the farm. There's just us and the animals making noise, right? Yes, and the trees cracking here and there. Well, just saying. But since I know that, I prep myself accordingly. Okay, so we're in 5. There was a great outcry from the people and from their wives against their brother Jews. Some said, we are having to pledge our sons and daughters to get enough grain to eat and keep us alive. Others said, we are having to mortgage our fields, our vineyards, and our houses to get grain because of this shortage. Still others said, we have had to borrow money on our fields and our vineyards to pay the royal tax. And though we belong to the same race as our brothers and our children are as good as theirs, we shall have to sell our sons and our daughters into slavery. Some of our daughters have been sold into slavery already. We can do nothing about it, since our fields and our vineyards now belong to others. Okay, I'm not getting this, unless this goes back to what Ezra wanted them to do. I feel like we're not getting enough information here to know what is actually going on, except for here comes the discontent again. It's like every time the same thing. So also, it's not quite clear who's actually complaining, right? It does say here, there was a great outcry from the people and from their wives against their brother Jews. We are having to pledge our sons and daughters to get enough grain. We have to borrow money on our fields and our vineyards to pay the road. And though we belong to the same race as our brothers and our children are as good as theirs, we shall have to sell our sons and daughters into slavery. Is that what's going on? Why do they feel disconnected? It sounds like they're also Israelites. Or not. It doesn't give us enough again to say, okay, what actually went on there? But something, again, didn't go quite right. Or people just expect for things to just snap our fingers and whoop-de-woo. Right? Yes? I'm not sure what's going on here. When I heard their complaints, so Nehemiah, when I heard their complaints and these words, I was very angry. Why would you get angry rather than say, oh, it's a good thing that they're piping up? Let's see what's actually going on and find some solutions to this. How come I missed all that? No, he gets very angry. Why? Having turned the matter over in my mind, I reprimanded the nobles and the officials as follows. Oh, who did he get angry at? Okay, let's see here. Each of you is imposing a burden on his brother. Okay, all right. So his anger was a righteous anger, per se? Okay, see, we got to, okay, now we're getting the information. So let's keep reading. Daniela, don't get ahead of yourself. Summoning a great assembly to deal with them, I said to them, to the best of our power, we have redeemed our brother Jews who were forced to sell themselves to foreigners, and now in turn are selling your brothers for them to be bought back by us. Oh, They were silent and could find nothing to say. What you are doing, I went on, is wrong. Do you not want to walk in the fear of our God and escape the sneers of the nations, our enemies? I too, with my brothers and retainers, have lent them money and grain. Let us cancel these pledges. This very day return them their fields, their vineyards, their olive groves, and their houses, and cancel the claim on the money, grain, new wine, and olive oil, which you have lent them. We shall make restitution, they replied. We shall claim nothing more from them. We shall do as you say, summoning the priests. I then made them swear to do as they had promised. Then, shaking out the fold of my garment, I said, May God thus shake out of house and possessions anyone who does not make good this promise. May he be shaken out thus and left empty. And the whole assembly answered, Amen, and praised Yahweh. And the people kept this promise. Okay, it seems to be going in the right direction, yet it goes from one, what I see here. Okay, I should keep on reading, but then I forget what I want to say. So we'll see. It goes from one extreme to the other again. Seems to be no balance. So according to the complaints of the people, everything was taken from them. Why? Why was it all taken from them? Why are these officials and nobles suddenly, okay, so what are we doing here again? Or what are they trying to do again? Establish what? A caste system? All right. And then the other thing, but then Nehemiah says, okay, I want you to give it all back. And we're not going to, Okay, that sounds like a good idea, right? Hey, the quick solution is, but the thing is, right, find the balance in it. There will still be things that need to be done, right? That needed the farmers or the workers for carpentry, this and that, and all that, and the goat herders won't be able to do in order to make a society work. So you're still going to have, right, officials in place, and a priest and a Levite. So just say. So there has to be still a better plan in place where then the people do need to contribute to the whole, right? And here now it just sounds like, okay, again, where is the working together? Where is the, okay, we need some spokespeople from just the common people to come say, okay, get all the complaints together. Now let's see, then talk to the nobles. Okay, you guys need to, but find a common denominator to work together, right? So that the whole foundation of it all will become more solid, rather than here go the nobles and the officials. Well, why am I supposed to do my job then? Uh, as I said, the complaints are going to start somewhere else again, right? With a different part of the people. So interesting. So let's see, but how else he's going to work on that. What is more, from the time when the king appointed me to be their governor in Judah, from the 20th to the 32nd year of King Artaxerxes, for 12 years neither I nor my brothers ever levied the governor's subsistence allowance, whereas the former governors, my predecessors, had been a burden on the people, from whom they took 40 silver shekels a day for food and wine. What? A day? Altogether, or just from everyone? While their attendants oppressed the people too. But I, fearing God, never did this. Also, not acquiring any land, I concentrated on the work of this wall, and all my attendants joined in the work together too. Okay, he's a good example, and he's also saying, hey, look, we've been working on things, right? Yes? Okay. So both sides need to be reminded of certain things. Furthermore, magistrates and officials to the number of 158 at my table, not to mention those who came to us from the surrounding nations. Every day 1 ox, 6 fine sheep, as well as poultry, were prepared for me. Every 10 days skins of wine were brought in bulk. But even so, I never claimed the governor's subsistence allowance, since the people already had burden enough to bear. To my credit, my God, remember all I have done for this people. He's a good example. And in a good example like that, I think that within his own, space, as an individual, family, he has every right to say, I'm doing the right thing, and I do believe that that's going to bring me blessings, right? Yeah, but he's not just that, right? Yes, he's also the governor. He's the governor of Judah, and that brings a bit more work and responsibility with itself. Um, I find it interesting on how, in the way that God is often presented here with all these problems or things that are coming up, rather than, okay, right, Nehemiah, okay, you're doing everything right within your own family, but you got to extend that out, especially in your position, and encourage the people, right? This is what I'm doing. I'm the example. Right? Learn from me, right? Because I've learned from God. I'm doing this because, yeah, I believe. And things probably not going to go so well again if we're not clear about that. Yes? Yeah. Anyway, so there it is. Uh, it's a better passage than I thought it was going to be. Um, and again, how much of the responsibility lies with the common people of Israel, Judah, right? When it comes to all that as well. Yes? Uh, we'll see. We'll see how much more there is going to be, and who's going to work against him. Because that's the intrigues of Nehemiah. Let's see how successful they are going to be. Seems like to me, though, that Nehemiah, who's don't know how much he was involved in, sounds like he's coming back out of captivity, right, as well from Babylon, and has to kind of start all anew, just like Ezra did in his area. And to do that, you're not going to be completely faultless. There will be some things that will not work out, not due to the fact that Nehemiah isn't trying. It's just wait. That's and he, in the way then that he brings God into play, I'm okay with that as well. Say, wait a second, we've got to follow God's guidance now, and that's what we're going to do. And following God's guidance isn't selling, having the people being forced to sell their children for what, to feed the rest of the family. That's always been something that it's really, I think I'd just rather starve together with my children than, is that, what's the greater evil? To sell your daughters and sons into slavery, and then not knowing how they're being treated. They might be going through hell, being beaten, raped, I don't know what, and may also not necessarily get enough to eat. So, just saying. Yes. Well, besides, how much is one, even at that time, used to, right? Yes, they got wine. Is wine necessary to live, to survive? No. Right? No. Grapes, though, is fruit. That's okay, just saying. And where is the attention of the common people when it comes to surviving on little and make it? Yes, or are people, I thought they were faring so badly before Nehemiah got back. And now, where things should be better regardless, now they're even worse. I mean, so bad off that they're doing what? But then Nehemiah says too, nah, we're going to buy all them people back. That's what we're going to do. I wonder if they did. I wonder if that ever actually happened. It's just, this is just theory. We're just reading mostly theory, except for Nehemiah's example is there. Yes? No. All right. Well, that's all I have to share this morning. Be an example out there, which means you have to open your mouth. Yes, you do. I've come across many situations in my life where it's better to be quiet. It's not my business, or this or that. And I understand that in certain areas, but there are other areas I just won't be quiet, especially when I do see conflict and I'm right there and I can do something about it. Yes? Oh, by just saying something. Yeah? Yes? Yeah. Silence sometimes signals also that you support certain abuses, neglect that are going on. Just saying. Okay. All right. That doesn't mean we go and run other people's lives if there isn't, as I said, something really serious going on where you're going to have to step in. But that doesn't mean that, right? But it takes courage. It really takes courage. And when I'm in situations like that, I always try to first, okay, step back, reflect before you react, and always do it under the guidance of God. How do I do that? You say prayer first. Yes, that's what I do. And then, interestingly enough, oftentimes, suddenly a completely different solution comes up. I'm going, I never even thought of that. Somebody did and gave it to me. Right? Yes, hard to mind. If you do prep things in the proper way, make the proper foundation to be involved, this is oftentimes, still not always, but oftentimes things will turn around for the better, change for the better. Yes? Okay. That's all I have to share this morning. I need to plant zucchinis. They can't stay in a huge pot. One could, actually would be great, but not 10 of them. And they've all come up. I know. And everybody, all my lovely plants, vegetables, herbs have survived the trip amazingly. Oh, why wouldn't they? Oh, you'd be surprised. You know, plants have a spirit life as well. They do. And yeah, of course, different makeup than people do, but and their roots, you know, through the movement of the cards, the roots can go into shock, get shook loose. Yes, it's and they start to wilt a little bit. You can tell they're going a little bit into shock, or yes, a big old move like this can be a strain on some plants. And but I see they have all some of them. I thought, ooh, oh, are you gonna make it? So then I'll talk to my plants. And today they all look fabulous. Every one of them. I transplanted the sunflowers already, and they're over here, and they look up. But while I had to take them out of that small container, I lost a lot of the roots. They have roots on them, but I lost the majority of the roots that all of them had created, four of them, in the small container. And I thought, hey, I wonder, but it looks like the weather's just perfect. If it were to be really, really hot, I would have to pull them out of the sun. But where the pot is at, today they look like all of them have completely recuperated within a couple of days since I planted them. So I'm very happy to see that. Yes, yeah. And again, I think this yard is, it's again, I think it's because of my daughter. There is something, even she kind of doesn't realize it, I think, yet. There's something about my daughter who just had the baby and plants. There really is. Uh, um, I'm amazed on how all the other plants here too. It's like they're in this happy, embraced, harmonious environment, and I think it's my daughter's spiritual nature and the plant's spiritual nature that are harmonizing, uniting, and reacting to each other. Yes. Oh, well, it could be me. I know myself when it comes to all this. Okay? All right? I love working in the dirt, in the garden with plants. But I also know my limitations with it. But with my daughter, and I've seen that on her by her other house. You see, it's not just here. Oh, it's just a god. No, in her home, other home that she has, it's just was the same thing. She just had to walk around out there, and I could see the plants go. Woo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-doo. I'm not kidding. It's the truth. So yes, I'm doing the work physically, but I've got that spiritual kind of good energy that's flowing here through my daughter, all through the garden here, too. Yes. Anyway, so very happy. All my plants are just whew, amazing. They're all doing so well. The loofah, too. I can't see, I can't stop talking. The loofah, I looked at the loofah and I'm going, the loofah did not. There's about 12 plants in the pot, and they did not look good. They have enough room, even in the pot for us of now. And I looked at them going, yeah, I think I'm going to lose every one of them. Which reminds me, I got to go and check on the gourds down there. I'm going to plant those. They didn't know, they have, my son-in-law did, but they didn't really dig it out. They have mulberry trees. They have a ton of pokeberries coming up. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just go read up on them. I don't believe everything you hear. I would never eat the roots, the stalk, and the leaves once they're old enough, but the berries are perfectly safe to eat once they're ripe. Okay? And great for arthritis. But they have behind their shed, they have actually somebody, people here before had established a compost. Oh, they had onions. We harvested onions, big old onions, and the green parts, like green onions. So a big whole bunch of them, that had grown out and needed to be taken out. I'm going to clean out back there, and we already have a started compost back there, and there are mulberry trees growing, three of them, which is a lot in that little space. So I don't know if they should all stay in, because mulberry trees get pretty big, and there are berries on there. I'm gonna go pick them all. I'm gonna make a pie with them. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, the loofah. Oh, so I'm gonna plant the gourds right into. It's a huge area. There's no need for a huge area like this to be the compost. So I'm gonna use one side of it and plant the gourds in there, and then they can go grow all the way around the fence, the snat out of the. Yes, perfect. Oh, as I said, I'm in heaven here when it comes to starting a garden. I'm not kidding. So the loofah, those are the gourds. The loofah looked like I'm going to lose every one of them. I thought, the first day. Then we positioned them on they have these really great place. There was one, I said, let's put that one right there. Let's see what happens. And this morning I went over and looked, and every plant has recuperated and gained. You can literally tell from the way they were yesterday to today, they had gained strength, size, and color. Yes, my daughter. Wonderful. It's starting to rain, which means I don't mind. It's warm. I don't mind working in the rain. I don't see the difference between on a warm day working in the rain and working in the sun. Actually, working in the rain on a warm day is very comfortable. Yes, actually, be a good time to continue pulling the uh, poison ivy, right? Because even if I get some on me, which, as I said, doesn't seem to matter, it gets washed off, right? Yes, but even on my clothes, because I cannot go around my son-in-law after I've done that work. I have to go and clean up completely. Yes, isn't that something? Yes. Okay, that's all I have to share this morning. Now, done. I'll be talking a lot about gardening and cooking. I'm going to make my own lasagna noodles today. And, okay, I'll tell you about that tomorrow. Okay, so that's it. May Heavenly Father bless you and protect you. and embrace you with love. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow.